Two of the top teams in Middlesex County hooking up tonight for a big GMC Red Division matchup. East Brunswick and Piscataway. Both clubs come in at 8-1 as we get set for action, and this should be a beauty. Starting for East Brunswick, Gio Oriole, Letitia Papania, Nikki McBride, Jill Kenny, and Heather Wells. And for the Chiefs, Asia Jones, Lisa Guineri, Rokiah Fields, Jennifer Franklin, and Shanta Scott. Both clubs again come in at 8-1, and through the past handful of years, both of these clubs have been among the top teams in Middlesex County. Now we're going to keep a close eye on Asia Jones, the sophomore for Piscataway. She is one of the top players in the county. She is suffering from a bruised knee that she sustained in the Chiefs' last game. Tap is controlled by Piscataway as the Chiefs come from left to right. That's Jennifer Franklin, man defense for East Brunswick. Guineri working against McBride, pulls up for the J, hits it. Lisa Guineri with her first bucket of the game. Guineri is a junior. East Brunswick get to the front court. Jill Kenny, left side for McBride. Chiefs playing a zone defense now. This is Kenny up top, just underway. Piscataway with a 2-0 lead on East Brunswick. Heather Wells getting the start with the ball on the right side into the corner for McBride. That's Wells up top for Kenny. It's going to be tough to get inside against this Piscataway team. Wells right side. That's McBride. Oriole in the paint, drives, and they wave off the basket. They say she took steps as she tried to get by Jennifer Franklin. So on the turnover, Piscataway takes over, and East Brunswick is going to show some full court pressure on the inbound. Ball comes into Franklin, and she will get the ball off to Guineri. Guineri, a very solid player. Asia Jones underneath for the easy two. Somehow Jones got wide open, and 55 seconds into this contest, head coach Reggie Carney wants to talk it over. Let's listen in.
Man press. What did you just come out in? You're in a man-to-man press. Grab a seat.
Let's go, guys.
Come on, guys. Let's go.
Come on, guys.
Right. It's only 4-0, so there's no harm, but you can't do this. You just heard you're in a man-to-man press. Half you play man, half you play black. What do you expect? What you get, a disaster. Okay? Now, you're not running zap. You're running gap, not zap, okay? Just get it and then move it, all right? Let's go. Come on. You're in man-to-man press. All right, beat it up. Defense, 1, 2, 3.
Defense!
Well, head coach Reggie Carney, prior to the tip-off, told his team what he wanted to do defensively, and there seemed to be confusion, and that led to a couple of quick baskets. So East Brunswick trailing Piscataway 4-0, less than a minute gone by, and Carney wanted to stem the tide before it got out of hand. Heather Wells going down low, Papania, ball tipped away from Ariel, and here comes Guineri racing the other way, 1-on-3, can't hit the bucket. Papania can't grab the board, but Wells does. East Brunswick in control. Jill Kenny into the front court. Kenny, right side for Wells. She'll launch long range, around and out, and the rebound comes to Asia Jones, and Jones is fouled by Gio Oriole for Oriole. That is her first bucket. Oriole, a 5'10 junior, and again, Asia Jones, a spectacular season as a freshman last year, and she is going to be getting a lot of looks from colleges and probably has already been receiving letters, and again, just a sophomore, but she is a talented young player. In the front court now, it's Rokiah Fields. Down low to Scott. This is Franklin in the paint, and she nets her first bucket of the game. So Jennifer Franklin with a 2-pointer, and it's 6-0 Piscataway as we are a minute 45 gone by in the first period. Long range shot from McBride, well off the mark. Wells underneath and draws the foul. So a nice play by Heather Wells, who's only 5'5". She's a senior, but was able to grab the board and go up strong and drew the foul. That first foul going against Asia Jones, and Wells goes to the free throw line. Again, Heather Wells is a 5'5" senior, and she shoots 40% from the free throw line. And that ball rolls around and in. So Wells getting East Brunswick on the board with 6:09 remaining in the first period. And Wells with a second, nails it perfectly. So the Bears now trailing 6-2, and no pressure this time as Franklin goes for Fields, and East Brunswick with a little zone press in the half court. This is Jones, top of the circle, going down low for Scott. Scott in traffic, backs it out to Guarneri. Open shot, no good. That's Scott down low, has it knocked away by Oriole out of bounds, but nice play by Gio Oriole to come over and play on Shanta Scott. Scott is just a sophomore, she's 5'10", so you look at the 5'10" Shanta Scott and the 6'2" Asia Jones, and you see that the Chiefs are loaded. Down low, Scott kicks it right back out for Fields, launches from three, sinks it. Rakaya Fields with a tray, and it's now 9-2, Piscataway leading. This is Oriole, left side for McBride, good pump fake, takes the baseline, loses control, and Fields comes up with it. Rakaya Fields into the front court, throws it right by Franklin, and a turnover, and East Brunswick will take it the other way. EB trailing 9-2 with 2.5 gone by in this first period. Bears need to just settle down and show some patience. Piscataway getting off to the quick start, but East Brunswick can't panic at this point, just needs to play its game. Nice screen for McBride, but Fields picks her up. McBride spinning, goes cross-court, and it's picked off by Guarneri. Guarneri's racing it all alone. Lisa Guarneri lays it up and in. Guarneri now with 4 points, and it's 11-2, a 9-2 edge. Head coach Reggie Carney calling a play from the sidelines, and Jill Kenny demonstrates what that play is. That plays Heather Wells from three. Brick City. Jones with a board, puts the ball on the floor. The 6'2 Jones into the paint, has it knocked away out of bounds, and they say that it was last touch by East Brunswick, but good defense, Jill Kenny reaching in. And a couple of substitutions now as Stephanie Little and Megan O'Neill check in. Wells and McBride take a seat. Guarneri to inbound for Fields. Has the open three, but elects to pass on it. And she comes out to Franklin. East Brunswick in the zone. Nice defense by O'Neill, knocking the pass away. Here comes Little driving. Little lays it up and in. Stephanie Little enters the ball game. It gets East Brunswick's first field goal of the game. It took a while, though. It took 3 minutes and 20 seconds. 11-4. East Brunswick trailing, and Piscataway turns it over now. Bev Hall wants to take a timeout. So we've got a timeout on the floor. 4:29 remaining in the first period. Piscataway 11 and East Brunswick 4. And let's listen in with East Brunswick head coach Reggie Carney.
Good. Okay, now, all right, let's make sure we're matched up with man-to-man, okay? All right, you know you have Asia. Everybody else make sure, again, you have somebody, okay? You have the point guard, okay? You have Rokia, okay? You have Guarneri, and you have the big kid, okay? All right? Now, matter of fact, let's switch it. You're going to play off a lot on Guarneri. Just play off, right, and you'll stay with your kid. You stay with your kids, okay? Now, down here, they're in a 2-3 zone, okay? On gap, that post player cut down the lane. Guards be ready to shoot. Again, don't worry about the scoreboard, all right? Everybody has a run, you know all that stuff. So again, just relax. Let them have their run now, then all the momentum shifts our way. Good job. Let's go. All right, defense. 1, 2, 3. Defense.
Well, you heard Reggie Carney mentioning what we mentioned just a moment ago, and that no need for East Brunswick to panic. Momentum early for Piscataway, and he wants his players to realize that despite the fact that they are trailing 11-4 in the early moments of this game, there is a long way to go, and obviously that's the case. East Brunswick with the ball. Kenny into the front court. Zone defense shown by Piscataway. Right side for Little. That's Papania to Little. Coming cross court, stolen by Guarneri. Once again, Guarneri with Little giving chase, puts it up and in. Lisa Guarneri now with 6 points, and that is the second consecutive steal and bucket for Lisa Guarneri. This is Little for Kenny. Kenny in traffic, and she took steps. Pressure put on Jill Kenny, and the 5'5 junior turned it over. And Nikki McBride checks back in. Jill Kenny will take a seat. Just about halfway through this first period, East Brunswick trailing Piscataway 13-4. The 9-point edge is the largest of the game for the Chiefs. Cross-court pass knocked away nicely by O'Neill. Piscataway maintains possession, but East Brunswick needs to be active in that defense. Chiefs have come out flying and have shown a nice quickness on both the inside and outside. Ball is knocked away. East Brunswick cannot make the steal, as Jessica Guarneri, who is a freshman and the sister of Lisa Guarneri, has checked into the game. This will be Lisa inbounding the ball. Asia Jones back to Oriole, down low for Scott. Scott turns around in the paint, can't get it off the glass. O'Neill with a rebound, pulls it away, and they call a tie-up and saying Jessica Guarneri, the 5'10 freshman, was able to tie up East Brunswick. Possession arrow goes to the Lady Bears. Pete Haskell bringing you all the action here from East Brunswick High School. 3:45 to play in the first period. Piscataway with a 13-4 edge, and East Brunswick unable to establish any rhythm offensively. This is O'Neill with a basketball. O'Neill working against Rakaya Fields. Near steal by Guarneri. McBride pulls up, jumper no good. Rebound to O'Neill, puts it down on the floor. O'Neill over the head. Not a high percentage shot, but almost nailed it. And East Brunswick tries to reset. McBride into the paint on the move, no good, but a foul. And Nikki McBride will go to the free throw line. So a little bit better that time, but not considerably. And Shanta Scott picks up her first foul. And checking in now for Piscataway in place of Rakaya Fields is Nyland Fields, her sister. Got a couple of sister acts for Piscataway, Rakaya and Nyland Fields, and Jessica and Lisa Guarneri. So the substitutions are made, and McBride goes to the free throw line. Nikki McBride with the first, and she sinks it. That is her first point of the game, as East Brunswick will try to chip away at this Piscataway lead. McBride, a senior, has had a solid career here at East Brunswick. In the second, a little bit short, and Jones grabbed the board. She's pressured, but quickly gets it off to Guarneri. This is Guarneri. Guarneri takes it down all the way to the baseline, and East Brunswick's got to step up and keep her from driving coast to coast. An impressive ball player, Lisa Guarneri, a 5'8 junior. It'll be Guarneri inbounding as Papania takes a seat on the bench. Guarneri looking, finally gets it into Fields. And Nyland Fields comes right side for Guarneri. Guarneri, watched by McBride, spins it, looks for the screen, doesn't take it. Gets it out to Franklin. This is Fields. Down low for Jones, turns and hits. Aja Jones, her second bucket of the game. She has 4. East Brunswick trailing 15-5, less than 3 minutes to play first period. Oriole left side for McBride, launches from 3, off the mark, but a good shot that time by McBride. A scramble and a tie-up, and the possession arrow will go to Piscataway. 2:48 to play first period, as Rakaya Fields will check back in for Nyland Fields. Nyland Fields just 5 feet even, 5 feet tall, and she is a sophomore. Lisa Guarneri will inbound from beyond her baseline as Megan O'Neill will provide the defense. Full court pressure by East Brunswick into Rakaya Fields. Now this is Franklin. They break the press easily. Franklin will spin it, slow it down. Rakaya Fields right side Guarneri. Guarneri into the paint for Fields. Right side Guarneri. East Brunswick in man defense. Jones turnaround, Jay in the paint, hits it. 6 points for Aja Jones, and Jill Oriole and company are going to have their hands full trying to guard against her. She's 6'2". This is Oriole, rejected by Jones. Here comes Fields coming the other way. One-on-one with Kenny. Can't hit the bucket. Jones grabs the rebound, nearly tied up, and indeed they call the tie-up down low. So good, quick hands by East Brunswick on the turnover. And the possession arrow goes to East Brunswick. Checking it now is Jamila Moore for East Brunswick. And Papani also checks back in. Jamila Moore singing the national anthem before this evening's game. 2:14 to play in the first period. East Brunswick leading Piscataway 17-5, 12-point edge, largest of the game for the Chiefs. This is Kenny, looks for the 2-point shot, can't hit it, and the rebound to Jessica Guarneri, and she gets off to Fields. Fields into the front court. Fields into the front court for Gina Abrascat, number 24, who's got the ball right now. Down low, Jones, turnaround, no, but she is hammered. And you have to figure that when Aja Jones gets the ball down to the paint like that, you better make it tough for her to get that shot off. And if there's not a lot you can do, better make her make those shots from the free throw line. A lot tougher to make them from the free throw line than from 4 or 5 feet away, which is where she likes to set up. So Jones, with her first free throw of the game, sinks it perfectly. She now has 7 points. Balanced scoring for the Chiefs. 7 for Aja Jones and 6 for Lisa Guarneri. And East Brunswick only with 5 points on the board. Jones' second free throw is also perfect, so she now has 8, and it is 19-5. Biggest lead of the game. This is Kenny up top, zone defense again by the Chiefs. Nice bounce pass to Papanilla, who can't hit it but draws the foul. And against that type of zone, that's exactly what you need to do. Move the ball diagonally, which East Brunswick did that time. On the nice feed, Papanilla will go to the free throw line where Kaya Fields with a foul. That is her first. And Asia Jones will check out of the game. So she will take a seat as Papanilla, who is scoreless, goes to the free throw line. 57% from the charity stripe on the season. And Papanilla can't sink the first one. East Brunswick is 1 for 3 from the line as far in this game. It's been all Piscataway in the first period. Papanilla, a 5'11" senior, sights in for the second and sinks it. So she comes up with her first point of the game, and it's 19-6. Quickly, Franklin into the front court, drives, can't hit it. Franklin gets her own rebound, back to Guarneri. Guarneri, nice move off to Franklin in the corner. Franklin driving, puts up the short-range shot, is good. So Jennifer Franklin now has 4, and it is 21-6. And East Brunswick's defense is going to need to tighten up and work a little bit harder. Piscataway's defense has done a nice job. Nearly taken away. Jessica Guarneri comes out with it. Off to Rakaya Fields, minute 15 to play in the first period. A 15-point edge for Piscataway. Lisa Guarneri, a cutting. Franklin for the easy shot, can't hit it. And the rebound comes to Jill Kenny. That basketball hit the floor on the rebound, so East Brunswick's got to play some defense and box out. This is Papanilla, turnaround no, but she's fouled by Lisa Guarneri. And that will send Papanilla back to the free throw line. Guarneri picking up her first personal foul as Gio Oriole will get set to check back into the game for Letitia Papanilla when Papanilla is finished with her free throws. Papanilla averaging about 6.5 points a game. First free throw a little bit long. East Brunswick, it seems, really needs to settle down defensively. They need to watch Asia Jones, make sure she doesn't get any easy touches in the middle. Need to do whatever they have to do to stop her, despite the fact that Piscataway has other weapons. If she is weapon number 1, you need to shut her down. So the second shot is also off the mark. Papanilla can't grab her own rebound, fights forward with Jones, knocked out of bounds, and they say that East Brunswick will have it as Jones touched it last. Oriole will check in for Papanilla, less than a minute to play. First period, East Brunswick trailing Piscataway 21-6. Both teams come in at 8-1. Jill Kenny will trigger. Kenny looking. Kenny still looking. Kenny finally gets it into Oriole, and East Brunswick looks to set up. Outstanding defense. Kenny loses control. Jones comes up with a steal and hands off in the backcourt to Abrascat. Abrascat left side for Fields. Fields looking up, get it down low. There's Jones wide open on the cross-court pass, no good. Gets her own rebound up and in. Asia Jones looking like Gulliver working against the Lilliputians at this point. Less than a half minute to go, 23-6. East Brunswick trailing, 17-point edge for Piscataway. This is Wells. Long range for Kenny. Can't get it. Rebound to Rakaya Fields. 15 seconds to play first period. Chiefs by 17. Fields with the ball. Fields holds up. 8 seconds to play. This is Franklin. Left side Abrascat up to Franklin. Wide open three-pointer. No good. 1 second. Put up by Fields. No good. And the first period comes to an end. A solid one for Piscataway, leading East Brunswick 23-6. Reggie Carney can't be all that happy. Let's listen in.
Right. Against their zone defense, the post players, you have got to flash up. Guarneri is cheating out here to the seats. So's the other kid. When Jill looks to come to this side, if this is Gio, you got to flash up into this gap and then look high, low, or drive. Again, you've got to read what the guards are doing. We're trying to yell out there to you, but you don't hear a word we're saying. The posts have got to flash up to relieve the pressure. Now, Jill can enter it to Gio. Gio can send it down to Nikki. Nikki's got the shot or the cut. Okay, right now we're not getting any ball movement because we're throwing everything to Guarneri. Better the disaster happens in the first quarter, right? Don't worry about the scoreboard because the obvious, again, it's not our rebounding killing us, and it's not per se our defense, it's these turnovers. Okay? You've got to read the defense, right? All right, defense. 1, 2, 3, defense.
Well, once again, you hear head coach Reggie Carney urging his players not to panic under the circumstances, and certainly East Brunswick has enough firepower to come back from a 23-6 deficit after one, but the Bears need to get it together defensively, and that's what you heard Reggie Carney talking about. So Guarneri will inbounds, gets to Fields, and East Brunswick now in the man defense, working against Wells. Fields loses, then regains. Now she's got to pass the ball, which she does to Guarneri. And again, we see Asia Jones trying to post up against Oriole, and she's just got a big body, and there she is with an easy shot. Can't get it, grabs her own board, puts it right back up, no good. And that time, we have Guarneri coming over the top. Good box out that time by Jamila Moore. And the foul will go against Guarneri, and that is her second. Substitutions now for East Brunswick. Papania, O'Neill, and Little check back into the game. And again, defensively, East Brunswick has to watch Asia Moore. Offensively, we're going to need to see more cross-court diagonal passes. 2-3 zone defense for Piscataway has been very effective. This is O'Neill up top. Left side, McBride. This is Oriole, and you can see that East Brunswick not getting anybody into the paint with the two big players, Jones and Scott. Little launches from three, can't get it, and Shanta Scott comes up with a board. Well, Shanta Scott is 5'10", Asia Jones is 6'2", and East Brunswick's not getting anywhere near the paint. And if you don't hit from the outside, then you are in big trouble because you don't have the big people down low to rebound either. And Piscataway's done well off the boards. This is Jones, she's doubled up quickly, good defense that time. This is Fields, Franklin, and the ball is knocked away by Oriole, but Fields comes up with it. This is Shanta Scott for Fields. Good defense by East Brunswick, probably the best defensive effort thus far for the Bears. This is Guarneri. Guarneri looking, and again, East Brunswick trying to keep a body on Asia Jones. In the right corner, it's Rakaya Fields, launches long range, no good. Good box out by Oriole, board for East Brunswick. Bears trailing 23-6. Minute and a half gone by in the second period. Nice drive by Little, can't get it. Jones with a rebound. And Little takes a wicked fall, but she gets up. Quickly, Scott faces the basket and shoots it. Good. So Shanta Scott is the fifth player to score now. All five starters have scored for Piscataway. It's 25-6, the 19-point edge, the biggest of the game. O'Neill for Oriole. Left side, McBride, long-range jumper, short of the mark. Guarneri with a rebound. And Guarneri will put it on the floor. 2 minutes gone by. Second period, 25-6 Piscataway. Guarneri pulls up, air ball. Jones saves it in nicely, and she gets it to Franklin. This is Guarneri, right side for Fields. East Brunswick in the man defense. Papania gets some help from Oriole on Jones. This is Fields, back right down low to Jones with a turnaround jumper around, no good. Papania with a rebound. Another good defensive effort by East Brunswick. Papania getting help from Oriole. This is O'Neill for Little. Little back up top to O'Neill. 5.5 to play, second period. Oriole with a drive, has it rejected by Asia Jones, who didn't leave her feet, and hands off to Rakaya Fields in the backcourt. Fields is a 5'6" senior, working against Little. Asia Jones comes out beyond the three-point arc, puts the ball on the floor, looking to pass it off, gets it to Franklin. Into the paint now for Scott. Scott in trouble, gets it off to Franklin. Franklin into the paint, drive, puts it up, no good, but a foul. And Jennifer Franklin, the 5'4" sophomore, will go to the free throw line. This is a very, not only talented, but young Piscataway team at East Brunswick, shuffling players rapidly in an effort to try to keep that defensive edge and keep the pressure on and not get tired, which you can do. Both teams like to play the up-tempo, and we have seen an awful lot of it. Tempo has favored, though, Piscataway in this first half. So the first free throw by Franklin is on the mark, and she now has 5 points. A 20-point edge for Piscataway, 26-6, 2:04 to play in the first half. Excuse me, 5:04. Second shot is no good, but McBride gets the rebound, and here comes Kenny the other way for East Brunswick. Kenny looking. Again, the 2-3 zone defense causing trouble. East Brunswick having trouble getting the ball inside. O'Neill for Kenny. Kenny looking, cut her along the baseline. She can't find McBride, though. This is Oriole. That's McBride in the corner. Nice head fake. Puts the ball on the floor, and she throws it away. Nope. Well, almost, but O'Neill couldn't save it. Tried to save it, but could not. And Gina Aberskat will check back into the game. And Stephanie Little will check back for East Brunswick, replacing Jill Kenny. 4:40 to play. First half, East Brunswick trailing Piscataway 26-6. 20-point edge. This is shot of Scott. Near steal by Little. This is Aberskat. Long-range jumper around and no good. And McBride gets the board for East Brunswick. McBride pushing it into the front court. McBride doesn't have a screen. Right side for Little. Little looking to get the ball to Papania. Gets the screen instead with a layup. Can't make it. Asia Jones with yet another rebound. This is Aberskat, who will slow it down off to Rakaya Fields in the backcourt. Fields calling the set play. Watch for Asia Jones. Jones comes out to get the ball. Jones guarded by Papania. Jones puts the ball on the floor, takes the baseline, and they draw the foul again. Gio Oriole coming over to help out. And Asia Jones picks up her second personal foul, so Papania has had the responsibility of playing against Asia Jones, which is quite a tall task, both literally and figuratively. And in the second quarter, she's done a much better job and has gotten a lot more help from Gio Oriole. So East Brunswick still struggling to get on the board, yet to score in this second period. We're more than halfway through. This is Oriole from McBride. McBride now looks at the two defenders. Nice cross court. Little's got to take that shot. She does and can't get it. Bounced around. Good board. Oriole underneath. Puts it up and in. Gio Oriole, her first bucket of the game, is 26-8. And East Brunswick unsure of whether it wanted to press or not. And gets beat. Here's Aberskat to Guineri to Fields. Fields for Jones on the wing. Looking down low, Jessica Guineri, turnaround good. Jessica Guineri, the 5'10 freshman, her first bucket of the game. It's out to 28-8. 20-point edge once again. Near steal, Little has it, near steal again. And Asia Jones knocks it out of bounds as Little try to get it inside to Papania. Papania, a slender 5'11". And Jones, a sturdy 6'2". And we've got a timeout. 3:12 to play, first half action. Piscataway leading East Brunswick 28-8. Let's listen in with Reggie Carney.
Every time we score, we are in a black press to a man-to-man denied defense, okay? I don't know what we're doing just then again. I have no idea other than looking around at each other, all right? So again, all right, black press on every score into a man-to-man denied defense, right? Then just double down from there. Right now, all we need to do is get a run going, okay? We're down by 20. We can cut 20-10 going into the halftime. We're fine. Let's just get after people now. Get after them. Come on, you know we're better than 8 points. So keep the faith and just keep battling and get after them. All right, hustle. 1, 2, 3, hustle.
Reggie Carney preaching to his troops that this game is not over, and despite the fact that they're trailing 28-8, that the game is not over, which is obviously the case, but his team has to be questioning itself just a little bit at this point. And as we mentioned, after that last basket, East Brunswick didn't know whether it wanted to press or not. And an easy pass down court, so he wants to press after every basket. This is Oriole from 3. Can't get it. Papania with a follow. Can't buy it. Papania battling with Guineri. Papania saves it in. Oriole with a jumper. Bounds around it in. Gio Oriole now with 4 points and with 28-10. And here's the pressure defense that Reggie Carney wanted. Less than 3 minutes to play first half. Bears trailing 28-10. Aberskat down low, knocked away by Little. Little comes up with a steal. Little into the front court. Little passes off to Oriole. She'll take the three-pointer, can't get it. Jessica Guineri with a rebound. Hands off to Fields. Piscataway pushing it up the other way. And now Fields will slow it down. And the Chiefs will set something up. This is Lisa Guineri. Lisa Guineri up top, Aberskat. Left side for Fields. McBride on her. Fields with a tough jumper, no good. Rebound to O'Neill. And East Brunswick pushing it. Here comes Little down the other way. Guineri giving chase. Little puts it up and in. Stephanie Little now with 4 points. And East Brunswick puts the pressure on. And Bev Hall, the Piscataway coach, wants a timeout. So 2 consecutive baskets has made it 28-12, 2:11 to play first half. Let's listen in with Reggie Carney.
Yeah, hey, look, just keep taking it to them. Right now, you got to understand, right? They shot their game. All they're going to do is get progressively tired from here. If we can just keep playing D, get the rebound, run the fast break. All right, now, intelligence again. We can't have the first black press with you two. We don't have anybody up. Correct? Okay, you're up, you're back, okay? On the black press. So again, we end up just messing up what we want to do because neither one of you took the spot. We end up with 3 girls back, so 1 girl's wide open. So you'll probably end up with Asia breaking your side. So it's black, everybody that goes in, it's black press to man deny. Keep taking it to the hole, all right? Defense, 1, 2, 3, defense, come on.
Pearls of wisdom from Reggie Carney as his team trying to fight back in, trailing Piscataway 28-12. And you have to believe that argument that Piscataway has played so well that this team probably can't play much better than it's played in the opening 8 minutes, certainly. When the Chiefs had a 23-6 edge, trouble getting the ball inbounds. Guarneri gets it, falls down, and that's a traveling. And boy, she fell at an awkward angle. Jessica Guarneri, but she gets up and will work it off. But good defense that time, good full court pressure defense. So now McBride will trigger from the sideline. East Brunswick trying to make a run. This is Little up top. Oriole on the wing. Oriole from 3, can't hit it. She's tried 3 consecutive threes with no success, but trying to shoot her team back into the game. Guarneri off to her sister Guarneri. She can't hang on. Lisa's passed a little bit too much for Jessica. And Jessica very upset, patting both palms on the floor. And she still running like she was shaken up when she took that awkward spill on the turnover last possession. 1:53 to play. First half, East Brunswick trailing 28-12. Little, right side for McBride. McBride tries to get the ball down low, but can't get it. Jones knocks it away. Lisa Guarneri comes up with it. 3-on-3, pull up from short range. Banker can't hit it. Jones with a rebound. Jones nearly tied up. Jones goes up strong. Tough player to stop, Asia Jones, now with 12 points. This is O'Neal. Bounce pass for Little, and Fields kicks it off her foot. East Brunswick trailing 30-12, 1:28 to play first half, and Heather Wells will check in for Nikki McBride. Jill Kenny and Jamila Moore also check in, so substitutions all the way around. 3 substitutes coming in for the Bears. And Wells, the 5'5 senior, will start things off with the inbound pass. Gets it into Kenny. Kenny left side for O'Neal. O'Neal will launch from 3, can't hit it. Rebound, battled for Wells. She can't grab it. Kenny has it, needs to look for that shot though. Kenny right side for Wells. Wells in traffic, and she took steps. She was doubled up with that zone defense as Gina Abrascat will now check back in for Piscataway as she replaces Lisa Guarneri. 1:16 to play first half. Piscataway with the 30-12 edge. Inbound comes to Jones. And Jones clears the crowd, puts the ball on the floor, then gets off to Fields. We'll see if Jones tries to post up once again, and indeed she does. There goes the ball down low to Jones. Reaches up, picks it, pulls it down, shoots it. Asia Jones now with 14 points. She's averaging 26 a game, and before the game, they didn't even know if she was going to start till minutes before tip-off after injuring her knee in the last game against Bishop R. Oriole baseline, can't grab it. Jessica Guarneri flings it to Fields as she falls to the ground. 45 seconds to play, first half. Franklin looking down low, picked off by Oriole, nice play. And she's run into by Abrascat. And they're gonna call the turnover, not a foul. There was contact, official thought it was incidental, and Oriole knocked the ball out of bounds, so Abrascat will inbound. 37 seconds to play in the first half. This is Franklin. East Brunswick in the 2-3 zone defense now. Franklin obviously holding for 1 shot, or so it appears, with 30 seconds to play. Now East Brunswick will try to pressure. Fields on the left side. Cross court for Abrascat. Down low for Guarneri, and O'Neal knocks it away. Nice defensive play by 5'10 freshman Megan O'Neal. 22 seconds to play. Substitution, Lisa Guarneri checks into the game, and she comes in for Abrascat. So Guarneri is a significant offensive threat, probably the second greatest threat that the Chiefs have next to Asia Jones, and East Brunswick has seen all that it wants of Asia Jones. 18 seconds, this is Guarneri. Guarneri looking, cross court for Fields, down to 12 seconds, back to Guarneri, 10 seconds. See if they try to get Asia Jones the ball, 5 seconds. This is Fields in the paint, turnaround no good, but a whistle with 2 seconds to play. Tough foul that time. East Brunswick had made Piscataway work on the defensive end, but Megan O'Neill getting called for her first personal foul, and that will send Rakaya Fields to the free throw line. Fields has 3 points on a 3-point shot. And a couple of substitutions as Asia Jones, who has dominated this first half, comes off the floor. She has 14 of Piscataway's 32 points. Again, she has 14 points. East Brunswick has all of 12. And one of those players who has checked in is Rashida Celestand, sister of former Piscataway boys star John Celestand, who's now playing collegiately at Villanova. Rakaya Fields can't hit the free throw. Well, East Brunswick is trailing by 20, but the Bears have to feel that if they can settle things down defensively and hit a couple of shots offensively, they can jump right back in this one. Fields hits the second. Just 2 seconds to go. Kenny launches long range, no good. And the first half comes to an end. Piscataway, not quite as dominant as in period number 1, but still controlling the play in period number 2. We're at halftime. Piscataway leading East Brunswick 33-12. We'll have the second half coming right up. We're all set for second half action. East Brunswick trailing Piscataway 33-12. I'm Pete Haskell bringing you the action from East Brunswick High School as the Bears start out with the ball. Zone defense once again for Piscataway. Chiefs dominant really in the first half. The key was Asia Jones. We'll run down the first half scoring in a minute. And we get a whistle as Lisa Guarneri picks up her third personal foul for Piscataway. Let's run down the scoring again. Asia Jones of the Chiefs leading the way with 14 points. Lisa Guarneri with 6, Jennifer Franklin with 5, Rakaya Fields with 4 and 2 apiece for Shanta Scott and Jessica Guarneri. For East Brunswick, not a lot to talk about. Gio Oriole, who's at the free throw line, will try to become team high scorer. She has 4, as does Stephanie Little, 2 for Heather Wells, 1 apiece for Letitia Papadilla and Nikki McBride. So Oriole fails to connect on the first one. Hits 63% from the line. And the officials waiting as a crowd has gathered in the corner and want to make sure that the spectators are off the side of the court. Just underway in the second half. East Brunswick trailing 33-13 as Oriole hits the second free throw. Full court pressure by East Brunswick. Bears are going to need to turn it up a notch. And Guarneri gets it to Scott. Scott loses it off her body, and the turnover is picked up by McBride. This is Kenny into the front court. Kenny's going to need to look for the shot. Long range shot, a little bit short. Rebound comes long to McBride. McBride with a dribble. McBride looks for the shot, doesn't have it. Oriole with a 3, can't get it. She's now 0 for 4 from three-point range, but she continues to work for that shot. This is Franklin helping to break the press for Piscataway. Franklin for Rakaya Fields. Watched by Wells. Ball's off to Guarneri. Again, Guarneri. 6 points and 3 fouls. Down low Jones. She's doubled up. Turns around in traffic. Has some time now. Gets it out to Fields. Back to Shanta Scott. Scott has the ball knocked away, but Guarneri comes up with it. And this is Fields. East Brunswick in the man defense with help inside. Fields off the dribble. No good. And McBride grabs the rebound. Jill Kenny for East Brunswick now. Kenny, a 5'5" junior. This is Wells. Very tough zone defense by Piscataway, and Shanta Scott comes up with the turnover. Asia Jones can't grab it. Kenny can't hang on, and here comes Franklin the other way. Minute and a half gone by. East Brunswick trailing by 20, 33-13. This is Franklin, loses it in the paint, but a whistle. And the foul will go against East Brunswick. That foul is called on Nikki McBride. And for McBride, that is her first personal, as Jessica Guarneri checks in for Shanta Scott. Guarneri is a 5'10" freshman, and this Piscataway team, as good as it is, with just one senior, Rakaya Fields. Asia Jones, the sophomore, with a turnaround, can't hit it. Guarneri can't grab it. This is Franklin for Fields. Fields for Lisa Guarneri. Takes baseline, has some room to maneuver, nearly blocked by Oriole, and Jones can't grab the rebound, but it's knocked out of her hands by East Brunswick. And Piscataway maintains possession. Well, interesting, if you look back to the beginning of this game, the Chiefs scored 2 buckets in the first minute, and Reggie Carney called a timeout. 55 seconds gone by. And that really was an omen of things to come. An ugly omen at that. Kenny into the paint, right side, knocked away by Fields, who has the steal. This is Fields racing with Franklin, 2-on-3. Fields lays it up and in. Rakiah Fields now with 6 points, and it's 35-13. Biggest lead of the game, 22 points for Piscataway. East Brunswick trying to work the ball. This is McBride, kicks it out to Kenny. Kenny now looks for McBride. McBride has the 3-point shot, good. Nikki McBride with her first field goal of the game. She now has 4 points. And McBride now with 15 3-pointers on the season. Long pass knocked away by McBride, but Jones comes up with it. McBride with an ear steal. And Jessica Guarneri will get called for the foul. So good pressure defense that time by East Brunswick. And the Bears trailing 35-19 take possession. 2 minutes and 40 seconds gone by. Substitutions now as Stacy Baylog checks in for the first time. Megan O'Neill is also in the game, along with Stephanie Little. This is Baylog, loses the ball and tries to fight for it, but Fields comes up with it, then she loses it. The officials looked at each other and weren't sure what to do, but finally decided East Brunswick would get the ball. So McBride will inbound right in front of us. McBride looking, gets it into Little. Little watched by Franklin. Back to McBride. As McBride works right side for Little. Little gets the baseline. Needs to kick it when she gets there. When she draws traffic, she needs to kick that ball out. And on the tie-up, the possession arrow goes to Piscataway. That's what East Brunswick needs to do. Draw the defense in, and when a player gets doubled or perhaps even tripled, kick that ball back out. Have to reverse it, zig it, zag it, or go diagonally across court. Guarneri, the one-person press breaker, into traffic but maintains possession. This is Franklin from 3, all net. Jennifer Franklin now with 8 points, and it's a 38-16 lead. 4:40 to play, third period. It's been all Piscataway. Zone defense continues to cause trouble for the Bears, and Jessie Guarneri comes up with a loose ball on the turnover. Yet another turnover. This is Lisa Guarneri. Lisa Guarneri into the paint, finds her way to the hole, can't hit it, but she draws the foul. And Gio Oriol will get called for the foul. That is her second. And that time, Guarneri really doing it all by herself as she went coast to coast. 4:24 to play, third period. Piscataway leading East Brunswick 38-16, and let's listen in to Reggie Carney.
You understand right now. What are the post players supposed to do? Then why are you staying down at the block? We're screaming like wild people. You're just standing here. We need you to come up. Post players, you've got to understand again. Their defense is there, 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 and there. The post players got to come up so you're almost in a 1-4. Then they can enter you to you and you can go down. Then you can follow your pass and you can flash. You've got to stop standing down on the block. That's what we went over at halftime. Pay attention to details and step up to relieve the pressure on the perimeter. Come on. Then catch the ball, turn and face, fake and drive. Score. 1, 2, 3, score.
Reggie Carney obviously disappointed by what he has seen in the opening minutes of period number 3, and letting his team understand that he is upset and what he's upset about. And what he's talking about is a very dominant Piscataway defense, and East Brunswick needing to do things to free up some people. And what you do is often, as the defense is jumping at you in that zone defense, if you give a ball fake, you can get that defender up in the air and blow right by, hopefully for an easy look at the basket. That's one of the disadvantages in that zone. Somebody jumps out at you and they're more likely to go for a quick fake if you give them a ball fake. Lisa Guarneri hits the first free throw. She has 7 points. Asia Jones is 14, Jennifer Franklin 8, Lisa Guarneri 7, and now Rakiah Fields is 6. Guarneri, the 5'8 junior, sights in and misses the second, and O'Neill comes up with a rebound for East Brunswick. McBride pushes it into the front court. Loses but regains the handle. This is Oriole, has her pocket picked by Fields. Things not going the Bears' way tonight. 4:11 to play, third period, 39-16. Guarneri with the easy two. That's Jessica Guarneri, the freshman. She now has 4 points, and it's 41-16. 25-point balls for Piscataway halfway through this third period. This is Oriole rejected by Jones. Lisa Guarneri comes up with a basketball. Well, there's not a lot you can do about that one anyway. This is Franklin. Franklin with a layup, no good. Asia Jones with a follow. Asia Jones with 16 points. It is 43-16. McBride looking at some double teaming with that zone defense. This is Wells, and that's a long range three, well short of the mark. And Lisa Guarneri comes up with the ball. She's looking, pushing the ball up the floor. 4-on-2 to the free throw line. Jones with a jumper, no good. Rebound by McBride, coming back for East Brunswick. McBride pushing it into the front court. Rakaya Fields hounding her. Right side for Little. Little to the baseline. Nice pass inside. O'Neal goes strong, draws the foul from Asia Jones. And for Asia Jones, that is number 3. So Asia Jones and Lisa Guarneri have 3 apiece. And Megan O'Neal, 5'10" freshman, will go to the free throw line. O'Neal is averaging 9 points a game, but she is scoreless, and substitutions on both sides as O'Neal goes to the line. She hits on 58% from the charity stripe. 3:11 to play, third period. Piscataway leading East Brunswick 43-16. O'Neal perfect on the first one, so that is her first point of the game. She's done a nice job this season. Again, a freshman, and has seen some significant minutes. Good ball handler, can shoot a little bit from the outside. Strong physical presence inside, some full court pressure, and Jessica Guarneri takes the pass, returns to her sister Lisa. 2 sets of sisters on this team. Guarneri right down the middle of the lane, can't grab it, but Moore comes down with the board for East Brunswick. And we have seen Lisa Guarneri do it time and time again, going right down the center of the court for an easy shot. She missed it that time, but it didn't matter. East Brunswick turned it over. Exactly 3 minutes to play. East Brunswick trailing by 25. Fields to Shauna Scott. Shauna Scott double up now to Nyland Fields, the 5-foot sophomore. This is Lisa Guarneri to Scott. We've got both sister combinations on the floor along with Shauna Scott. This is Lisa Guarneri. Nice rejection by O'Neal. And Jamila Moore comes down with it for East Brunswick. And she's tied up by Jessie Guarneri, who gets called for her second personal foul. So 2:42 to play, third period. And Jennifer Franklin will check in for Piscataway. Heather Wells for East Brunswick. And Lisa Guarneri will check out. 2:42 to play. Again, East Brunswick trailing by 25. No need for Piscataway to press now. Just sit back and put some pressure on the ball. Heather Wells double up. And a near steal and now a steal. Here comes Rakaya Fields behind the back, getting a little fancy. Could have been called for steps there, but it wasn't. Nyland Fields in traffic, banks it off Shauna Scott, and Papanea comes up with it. This is Jill Kenny into the front court. Kenny working against Franklin. Kenny looking, right side for Wells, along the baseline, throws up a low percentage shot. Papanea with the board, can't grab it, can't put it in. And now Guarneri with a rebound. She is nearly tied up and she is fouled. And you can tell that Jessica Guarneri, a very fiery player from what we've seen from her. That foul going against East Brunswick's Jamila Moore. And for the 5'8" senior, that is her first personal foul. 2:07 to play in the third period. Full court pressure for East Brunswick. And Rakaya Fields passes ahead for Jessica Guarneri. Back to Fields, 2 minutes to play. Jennifer Franklin. Man defense for East Brunswick. Franklin working. This is Nyland Fields trying to force it to Scott, but loses. Here comes Megan O'Neal the other way. A little bit out of control, but she draws the foul from Nyland Fields. So for Fields, that is her first personal foul. And now Gina Abrascat will check in for Nyland Fields. East Brunswick looking for points. Only 18 so far, 1:46 to play in the third. This is Wells, outside for O'Neal. She'll take the three. Good shot right there, but she can't hit it. Papadilla with the board. This is Jill Kenny, and she sinks it. So Jill Kenny with her first bucket of the game. 43-20. East Brunswick will put some pressure on with 1.5 minutes to play. Stolen by Kenny, saves it into Papadilla, in trouble. Gets it out to Wells, knocked away, and Franklin comes up with it. Rakaya Fields will work against Wells into the front court. Fields will now set up. This is Franklin. Had the shot from 3 but didn't take it with a 1 dribble in. Can't hit it. Franklin can't get her own rebound. Papadilla comes down with it. This is Kenny. Kenny racing past Abrascat, and Kenny has the ball blocked, but she's fouled from behind by Gina Abrascat. Abrascat picks up her first, and Kenny will go to the free throw line with 1:05 to play. So the steal by Kenny as she tried to go coast to coast. Showed some good speed, but she couldn't hit the basket. Kenny is averaging 6.5 points a game. She shoots 55% from the free throw line. 1:05 to play. East Brunswick trailing 43-20. That's a 23-point margin. The largest of the game has been 27 points. As Kenny comes to the free throw line. And the first shot is good. So Jill Kenny now with 3 points. And Kenny's second is also good. Substitution as Kenny comes off the court and Jamila Moore checks in. Kenny with 4 points, and East Brunswick putting some more pressure on. Inbound to Asia Jones, and she'll put the ball on the floor. This is Abrascat in the front court, holds on. This is Kenny in the paint. Lisa Guarneri wide open from 3. Can't hit it. Jamila Moore with a rebound. Moore hands off to Oriole. And this is McBride. McBride to the free throw line, kicks it out. Nice pass to Oriole. She finally hits the 3. For the 5th time was the charm. Gio Oriole now with 8 points. It's 43-25, 18 points now. This is Asia Jones. How many steps did she take? Boy, oh boy. Should have taken the bus, and she got called for traveling. And Bev Hall takes a timeout. 32 seconds to play in the 3rd period, and East Brunswick showing some signs of life, trailing 43-25. Let's listen in with Reggie Carnick.
Again, no big messages, all right? Just got to keep doing what we're doing. We're hustling all over the floor. We're denying passes now. We're forcing them into things, and now we're sticking some shots. Just keep doing what you're doing. Again, when it gets to man-to-man half court, you guards might only last a minute at a time. I don't want to see your kid catch the ball other than the back door. You have got to come out. You've got to sacrifice your lungs, and you have got to deny every pass. If you get beat backdoor, that's my fault, and I don't care because that's what I want you to do. Get beat backdoor. Just get up in those passing lanes and gamble and keep getting after them. Win. 1, 2, 3. Win. Come on. Let's go.
Well, you can hear a lot more enthusiasm in that East Brunswick huddle now that the Bears have cut it underneath 20 points for the first time in this half. So East Brunswick trailing by 18 now, trying to keep things going. And Reggie Carney talking about coming up and cutting off the lanes and don't worry about getting beat backdoor. Carol Lee is in trouble, but she breaks free. Lee nearly travels, gets it off to Oriole. Piscataway turning up the defense a notch. McBride with the open 3, around and out. Long rebound comes to Franklin. She gets to Abrascat. Abrascat a little bit concerned where the defense was and wisely holds up. Better to hold up there than to turn it over. 4 seconds to play in the period. Down low, Jones turns, faces, shoots, and hits. And the basket counts. Well, that was a tough one right there. Asia Jones now with 18 points, extending that lead to 45-25. McBride almost knocked down the 3, couldn't get it, and then Jones hitting a bucket at the end. 45-25 after 3. Let's listen in.
To be hard again to double down because I want you all over the floor. So you've got to gamble. If you get burnt that they lob it over your head, who gives a crap anyway? It's just 2 points. So again, Tisha is holding up fine, but she's just too wide for you, so she's just spinning off. So again, just gamble. If you don't get the deflection, don't get the steal, it doesn't matter anyway, because we can't double down right now, okay? All right, come on, another couple seconds here. Get after it. Defense. 1, 2, 3. Defense. Come on.
Well, Reggie Carney telling his team to throw caution to the wind. 8 minutes to play. Bears trailing 45-25. And it is certainly an uphill battle to get back in this game, but East Brunswick showing signs of life in the last few minutes. And fortunately for the Bears, we'll start this fourth period with possession of the basketball. This is McBride for Wells. Wells will launch from 3. A little bit too strong. This is Fields coming the other way. Doubling up. Franklin, she has trouble. Guarneri down low to Jones. She's doubled up. Back to Guarneri. Good defense by East Brunswick. A cutting Franklin. She gets hammered. Excellent foul. They call traveling. So they say Franklin traveled before she was hit by Jamila Moore. Bev Hall, the head coach of Piscataway, can't believe it. So a break there for East Brunswick. Would have been a good foul either way, but a turnover instead. East Brunswick needs to take advantage of this opportunity. This is Megan O'Neill who's checked into the game with a dribble, cross court for Wells. Ball fake out to McBride. This is O'Neill. O'Neill to the free throw line, drops it off to Papania. She's swallowed up by Scott. Papania can't get the reverse layup, and Guarneri comes down with it, and a reach-in foul on East Brunswick. So Piscataway will inbound from side court as East Brunswick gambled, and Heather Wells got whistled for her first personal foul. 45-25, East Brunswick trailing Piscataway. 43 seconds gone by fourth period. And Stephanie Little, the 5'5" sophomore, checks in for Heather Wells, the senior. Guarneri will inbound. O'Neill fronting her. This is Rakai Fields getting the pass. Fields directing traffic. Fields looking, baseline, Guarneri, turnaround, Jay, good, it counts on a foul. Lisa Guarneri now with 9 points, and Carney said he didn't mind getting beat back door and certainly didn't want to, but that's what happened. That was the price he paid for the defense that he's playing. And with Guarneri with an opportunity to complete the three-point play. Lisa Guarneri has only 9 points, but she was a major factor early in this game when Piscataway jumped out to the big lead. Guarneri can't hit the free throw, and Asia Jones touches it last. So East Brunswick down 47-25, 53 seconds into this fourth period. O'Neill working against Franklin. Megan O'Neill for Little. Little right side for McBride to the baseline. Now, when she gets doubled up, she's going to have to kick that ball out. That's Little. Little for McBride. Goes for the ball fake. Now Little along the baseline. Throws it into Guarneri. O'Neill saves it in. Kicks it out to Oriole. She'll take the long-range shot, partially deflected. Guarneri comes down with it. Guarneri to Asia Jones. Jones, one dribble. Puts it up off balance. No good. Grabs her own rebound. Kicks it out to Franklin. This is Fields. Right side, Guarneri. Down low, shot of Scott, up no good, but a foul as Papania will get whistled for her first personal. So Tisha Papania, the 5'11" senior, fighting hard underneath the glass. And Shanta Scott, the 5'10" sophomore, will go to the free throw line. Scott had a bucket early in the game, but has been a non-factor offensively since then. Minute and a half gone by, 47-25, as Scott misses the first free throw. Piscataway has really controlled this contest from beginning to end. Not the Bears' night tonight. Second free throw no good as well. Jones fighting for the rebound, but Oriole knocks it away and comes down with it. This is O'Neill, right side for Little. She'll take the long-range shot, can't hit it. Long board, free on the floor, tied up. And a jump ball is called. And the possession arrow will go to Piscataway. Substitution now, Jessica Guarneri comes in for Asia Jones. And again, prior to the game, we heard that Jones had a bum knee after getting undercut in a game against Bishop Bar. It'll be interesting to see if she returns in this contest. Her team leading by 22. This is Guarneri into the front court. Fields on the left wing. East Brunswick playing man D. McBride hounding Fields, and a whistle. Well, that's a tough call right there. Just when it looks like you've got a shot at knocking away the ball, you get called for the foul, but that's what happened to Nikki McBride, so that is her second personal. And that puts Piscataway in the 1-1. So tough situation now for East Brunswick as Jill Kenny checks in for Megan O'Neill. O'Neill sits down with a 2-point performance thus far. Rakaya Fields to the free throw line. She has 6 points on the game, 1 for 2 from the line. Front end of the 1-and-1's perfect. So Rakaya Fields, the lone senior on this club. There's only one senior and one junior. Lisa Guineri is the lone junior, and then a whole slew of sophomores and a freshman that see significant playing time. No good on the second shot for Fields. This is Kenny into the front court. Kenny for Oriole. Oriole to the baseline. Oriole puts it up around the name. Gio Oriole now with 10 points. It's 48-27. Piscataway leads. 2:15 gone by. Full court pressure. Shot to Scott. She doesn't want to handle the ball. Gets it off to Guineri and out of Fields. So Fields will bring it into the front court. This is Guineri. East Brunswick man defense, trying to turn it up just a little bit. Put pressure on the ball, try to force a turnover. Down by 21. 5.5 to play, fourth period. Guineri spinning, ducking under. Jumper no good. Rebound shot of Scott back to Guineri. Shot of Scott has some talent, but you can see she's a little bit tentative when she gets the ball down low, and she certainly doesn't want to put the ball on the floor. This is McBride. Into the front court, to the free throw line. Kicks it out for Little. She'll take the three, home net. Stephanie Little, her first tray, she now has 7, and it's 48-30, so East Brunswick cutting it down to 18. Less than 5 minutes to play. Reggie Carney wants to see pressure on the basketball, but his team dropping back. This is Guineri, taking some instruction from head coach Bev Hall. She's right in front of Bev Hall. This is Guineri to Scott, taken away by Oriole, and a whistle from behind. They call traveling. And we have a whistle before that traveling on Oriole. And we're going to have a foul call. The official at the baseline, the woman to the left, made a call before that steal. And she is discussing what her call was and who it's against. So let's see what we come up with. All right, so that foul is going to be on Gio Oriole prior to her steal on the hold. So again, the 1-and-1, and this is Shonda Scott, who looked less than impressive in her previous opportunity at the free throw line. She's 0 for 2 on the game. Shonda Scott, a 5'10 sophomore. 1-and-1, she's got to make the first to get the bonus, and she sinks it. She looked good on that one, so Shonda Scott now with 3. East Brunswick's going to need to push the ball. Still fighting to make a game of this one if possible. And that makes it a 20-point game. So Shonda Scott now with 4 points. This is Kenny quickly into front court. Right side for Little, down low for Papadilla. She's fouled from behind by Jessica Guineri. And for Guineri, that is her 3rd personal. And this will send Papadilla to the free throw line. So Papadilla is 1 of 2 from the stripe. She is 1 point of the night. She's a 5'11 senior. And you can say that she has struggled in this game, but you could say that about just about every other Bears player tonight. It has been a tough evening. Papadilla front end, no good. And she gets her own rebound. So good hustle that time as Oriole kept it alive. This is McBride, has the open three-pointer. Can't get it, and the rebound comes to Lisa Guineri. Tied up, Papadilla takes it away, puts it up. Good, it counts it a foul. Letitia Papadilla, with the help from Oriole and the double team, took the ball away from Guineri, turned around, got pushed from behind, and made the bucket. So it's 18 points, and Papadilla with a free throw can make it 17 and keep this game interesting. Papadilla 1 for 3. That one was a line drive, never had a chance. And a tie-up by East Brunswick, and the ball goes to the Bears, so 18 points. East Brunswick with possession, 4:23 to play in the contest. East Brunswick continuing to fight. Kenny will inbound. Kenny looking. Gets it in, McBride from 3, a little bit short. Rebound to Lisa Guineri. In traffic, dribbles away from it. Guineri for Fields. Fields ahead. Fields over the head. Beautiful layup. Rakaya Fields. My goodness. With her back to the basket, spinning, put it up and made it, and you knew that she knew exactly where she was. Great play by Fields. This is Oriole from 3, a little bit strong. Fields with a rebound. Waits for the crowd to clear. Gets off to Guineri. That may have been the nail in the coffin right there. 52-32. Piscataway leading. We've got 3:50 to play, and Carney wants his team to come out and play some defense. Good D by Oriole, and Little comes up with it. Long pass to McBride, racing one-on-one. McBride can't hit it. Guinari let her go, then got the rebound, and a tie-up by Oriole. But possession this time will go to Piscataway. Heather Wells will check in along with Jamila Moore. And Gina Aberskat comes in for Piscataway. 52-32, Chiefs leading East Brunswick. 3:39 to play in the fourth. Bears looking to put some pressure on this inbound and go with a full court pressure. Full court man pressure is what they're in right now. This is Fields. They try to double her in the backcourt. Gets the pass for Scott. And she hands off to Franklin. Franklin getting pressured. Pass to Scott. 3:26 to play and Scott's fouled up top when she went to put the ball on the floor. And a hold is called on Gio Oriole. So for Oriole, that is foul number 4. And Shada Scott goes to the free throw line. Again, the 1-and-1. Scott with 4 points as Megan O'Neill will check in for Gio Oriole. Oriole's played a nice ball game. Tough defensively against Asia Jones in the first half when Jones had 14 of her 18 points. But she has helped out effectively on defense in the double team as Scott can't hit the front end of the 1-and-1 and the ball goes out of bounds. And neither official knows which way it's going. They're looking at each other, going to call the jump ball, and the possession arrow will go to East Brunswick. So a little confusion that time, but getting back to Oriole, she's played hard, has helped out defensively, doubling up Jones in the second half. Papadilla was playing against Jones, but Oriole coming out to double up and help out, so she's played a fine second half and has had a couple of opportunities from 3. Took her a while before she hit one, but she finally did nail it, and as long as you have the open shot, you have to keep taking it, and that's what she was doing. Shada Scott gets called for that foul, and that will send Megan O'Neill to the free throw line. The freshman O'Neill, 2 points on 2 of 2 from the free throw line. 3:13 to play. Fourth period, East Brunswick trailing Piscataway by 20. And O'Neill a little bit short on the first free throw. She still has one coming. Well, this is going to have to be a learning experience and motivating factor for East Brunswick. A tough ball game all the way around as O'Neill misses the second and Fields grabs the rebound. And then a hold in the backcourt. And this should be the double bonus, if I'm not mistaken now, for Piscataway. Foul on East Brunswick, and now it'll be a 2-shot situation. 10 team fouls now on East Brunswick, so instead of the 1-and-1 where you need to make the first to get the second, automatically 2 shots. So the double bonus now on that foul, which was called on Heather Wells. That is personal number 2. Both teams over the limit. Next foul will put East Brunswick at the line for 2 shots in the double bonus as Fields can't take advantage of the first free throw. She's now 2 of 5 from the line. Rakaya Fields with 9 points, including the only 3-pointer of the game for Piscataway. Can't hit the second, and Guinari almost grabs the board, but O'Neill comes down with it for East Brunswick. This is Kenny into the front court. 3 minutes to play, fourth period. East Brunswick trailing by 20. Franklin with the steal. Here comes Franklin, 1-on-2, decides to spin it back. Now turns it, baseline, Jay no good. Shot of Scott can't grab it. Jesse Guinari puts it up, no good. And the rebound comes to East Brunswick. This is O'Neill for Wells. Wells to the baseline, throws it up a little bit too strong. Scott with the board, tries to clear the crowd. A lot of banging down low, but no call, and probably a good decision by the officials. This is Aberskat, 2.5 to play. Fourth period. Piscataway just needing to run down some clock, pass down low to Scott, but she was doubled up, and Moore comes away with the basketball. Off to Little. Little into the front court. Little for O'Neill. O'Neill looking. O'Neill right side for Little. Little coming cross court. Kenny, Wells, jumper, good. Heather Wells now with 4 points, her first field goal of the game, and that's what East Brunswick needed to be doing against the zone defense the whole game. Reversing the ball, going cross court and looking for the open shots. Didn't happen too often. East Brunswick trailing by 18 with 2:04 to play in the contest. Let's listen in to Reggie Carney.
Report in, report in.
Let's go, Philly.
All right, what we got in? We got 1, we got 2. Okay, who else is in?
Hey.
Carol's 3. Okay, all right, and we got 4 and we got 5. Okay, now you're still playing, all right, the press. Just keep scrambling all over the floor and just keep trying to make something happen on offense, all right? Come on, let's go. Come on, get after him. Still in black. Hustle, 1, 2, 3, hustle.
Well, not a lot to say at this point for Coach Reggie Carney as he starts to clear his bench now, give some of the younger players an opportunity. His team has continued to fight despite the uphill battle. Piscataway is led by as many as 27 points. It was 23-6 at the end of 1, and it didn't get much better from there. 17 points after 1, 21 points after 2, 20 points after 3, and it's an 18-point game right now. And for East Brunswick, Celine Hagan is in the game. Stacy Kohler is in the game. Heather Adams is in the game. Carol Lee is in the game. And we'll pick up who that 5th player is. Apologies off the bat. Stacy Baylog is the 5th player in the game. So East Brunswick has emptied its bench. And Piscataway with Asia Jones on the bench now. Nylin Fields in the game, the sister of Rakaya Fields. They passed the ball to each other. Ooh, Baylog crushed Rakaya Fields that time. Going for the steal, didn't do it intentionally, but hit her pretty good. Guess as they say, if you're gonna foul, you might as well make it worth your while. And she certainly did on that one. 1:45 to play, Rakaya Fields to the line. She is 2 of 6 from the line of the game with 9 points. Clock running down, and it probably can't run down quickly enough for East Brunswick as Fields hits the first. You have to take this experience and build on it and say, all right, this is where we were. We know where we can be, and make sure that each game we come in with the right frame of mind and give the right effort. Long range jumper is no good by Adams. Ball batted around. Loose ball is tied up. And the possession arrow will go to Piscataway. And Julie Wang now checks into the game for the Chiefs in place of freshman Jessica Guarneri. Abrascat looking to inbound, some full court pressure. Fields back to Abrascat. And Abrascat will slow it down. Rakaya Fields, less than a minute and a half to play in the contest. Guarneri calling the set play. Baylog out on her. Guarneri behind the back. Rakaya Fields. East Brunswick still doubling up, still playing hard. Nylin Fields, right side Abrascat. Minute 10 to play. Piscataway holding the ball on a 20-point edge. Nylin Fields' long-range shot barely reaches the backboard. And the rebound to Carol Lee. Lee working against Abrascat into the front court. Lee comes right side for Baylog, can't hang on out of bounds. They say that Baylog hit it last as Rakaya Fields was taking a run at that ball. 54 seconds to go. Piscataway with a 54-34 lead. Rakaya Fields for Guarneri, 45 seconds. Chiefs will improve to 9-1 with his victory. And East Brunswick gives a foul as Heather Adams gets whistled. So an opportunity at the free throw line for Lisa Guarneri, who has 9 points, 1 of 3 from the line. And Rakaya Fields checks out, gets a hand from the Piscataway faithful, and she played a fine ball game. So a good effort by Rakaya Fields, who sits down with 11 points. And Guarneri's first free throw is off the mark. Asia Jones leading all scorers with 18 points, 14 in a dominant first half, and you have to figure that she had double figure in rebounds. As Guarneri's second free throw is good, so she now has 10 points. So 3 players in double figures for Piscataway. And Gio Oriol, the only one for East Brunswick, she is on the bench with 10 points. East Brunswick turns it over, exactly 30 seconds to play. Oriol had 10 points, 7 for Stephanie Little, 4 apiece for Jill Kenny and Heather Wells, as well as Nikki McBride, 3 for Papadilla and 2 for Megan O'Neill. 20 seconds. As Piscataway just trying to run clock, East Brunswick not looking to foul. Nylin Fields looking for the shot, can't get it off, and Carol Lee comes up with it. And Fields is going to get whistled, I believe, and indeed that's the case. So it's a double bonus. Now, Nyland Fields really didn't want to do that, and she looked like she got her hand caught in the cookie jar. That was the expression on her face when the whistle blew. She thought about taking that long-range shot, and then she held up and had the ball knocked away from her and ended up fouling. This will give Carol Lee an opportunity to get into the scoring column at the free throw line. First shot off the mark. Lee will have a second. 11 seconds to play. East Brunswick trailing Piscataway 55-34. Lee, one more. Needs to side in a little bit more carefully this time. And that one's right on the mark. So Carol Lee getting into the scoring column with 1 point. As Piscataway needs 10 more seconds to run this clock down. Again, Chiefs improve it to 9-1. Bears falling to 8-2, 4 seconds to go. East Brunswick just chasing that basketball. The shot is no good. And the game comes to an end. It was Piscataway from beginning to end. First 4 points of the game in the first 55 seconds. Reggie Carney called a timeout, tried to stem the tie, but it was not to be. Piscataway with a very impressive 55-35 victory. For the Channel 8 crew, I'm Pete Haskell saying thanks for joining us for East Brunswick girls basketball on Channel 8.